The UDU, a planned development united, installed their neighborhood nodes throughout the entirety of a land. Their reach was unmatched.
Hey, welcome everybody to team meeting number 14. How are we all doing? Yeah. A few nods, thumbs up. Very good. So we've had a lot happen since the last meeting. As you know, Angela's been working like a fiend, getting the new server up and running and looking great and working great. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank her once again, because there's no way I could have had the patience or the time to put that together, especially all the cool stuff associated with the onboarding bots and everything like that. Awesome work. So thank you very much. And yeah, I don't think we had any issues as of yet. So all of the people that jumped in and helped to test things slowly but surely, thank you for that as well. So yeah, the new server's working out well. It's great to have everybody on board under the one umbrella. We've already seen that the communication now between the two main groups is much more improved, and we've had a bunch of new members come in, and we've had a bunch of new members move up, so that's been cool to see as well. The old servers are still available for a limited time only. I think what did I put on there? I put a shutdown date of the 17th of July or something. So there's about a week left. After that, they'll go into just purely read-only mode. And I'll probably even just make them all behind a wall. So if it turns out that there's something in there that you want to go back and see, just fling me a DM and I'll find it or give you temporary access or something like that. But other than that, it'll be closed down shop and away we go with the new stuff. As part of onboarding the new members, Finsky had been talking to me for the last several months about different ways that we could better onboard new members and people that were interested in that sort of stuff. So with this switch over to the new system, it was the perfect opportunity to bring a lot of those things on board. And he worked closely with Nubex to put a really good series of steps together. And I can kind of loosely show you what we got going on. See that. I just put a few things down in here. So now we've got we've got two channels. We've got a vetting channel. So if somebody comes along and says, hey, I think such and such is interested, or if somebody reaches out in DM, then their name gets put down and they kind of go through these steps. So there's a lot more detail now on blockchain vetting. So we'll have a really good look through their blockchain history, their transaction history. We've already seen that's been very useful in a couple of situations. And, we have a look through the community posting chat. There was one person that reached out and then they failed vetting based on their community posting, because you could just tell the vibe of the person, some of the stuff they were saying on that is just not what we're looking to get into. And specifically for UDU, we check to make sure you got node properties and that sort of thing. And that's one thing to bear in mind. Like if I was to be subjected to the current vetting process that we have, I probably wouldn't pass. If people dug back through all my history and whatnot, I've had plenty of rage moments in the community and that sort of thing. So there is some flexibility there. So if anything comes up from the vetting team, they just throw a flag. They throw a red flag up, and then there's a group of us that get together and have a deeper dive in it and have a look through and discuss. And everything it's okay to proceed, which there's been several cases we just throw a dice up, and that means we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, once the new roles are assigned in the server, then we move on to the next person. So I think we might have vetted 4 or 5, maybe 6 people already through this process, and it seems to be working pretty smoothly. Previously, it was kind of all being done in DMs, and it was kind of here, there, and everywhere, and, you know, something would come up and you'd forget. But with this system, with all of us that have access to the vetting channel, basically anybody who has some free time, they can see what has been done and what hasn't been done, and then they can just click the emoji and move on. So that was that. What else we have? Oh, the old train. I threw the announcements up last week, so that was part of shutting down the old servers, and pretty much most people moved over and into the new server. There was, of course, there was a bunch of the old people that, or the old community members that were in the server that they just went off and done their own thing, and they move on, and whatever, we move on as well, and we moved on to the new train system. Hopefully everyone's seen that we've put the brakes on that until after this build challenge. We didn't really get the numbers that we were hoping for. I think we got, what did we get, 57 spark or something like that, which it's enough to get going, but that kind of stretches out what was a pretty short build list into a month of building. And, you know, we definitely don't want to be going over a month per round. So hopefully once this building challenge finishes up, then there's a lot of people that said they can do X amount of spark now and a whole bunch more after the challenge. So we'll reevaluate things after that. If you're currently sitting on spark and it's not really doing anything and you don't know what to do with it, most of us have been doing a mixture of doing it on the old train, and we've started putting it on the new train as well, just bit by bit. But as always, do your own thing. No pressure, no stress. And that's about it for the new train. I don't think was there anything else that I had to say about that?
Well, we have Hire made us a really nice bot to calculate the spark that's been staked on the properties. I tested it out today, and it's really cool. It tells you exactly, I don't even have to go into the game. It tells you how many days are left, how many spark was staked, who sparked what exactly, who took out. So my job is definitely going to be a lot easier thanks to him. So thank you, Hire.
Is that open to everyone, or that's only that's a management bot?
It's a management bot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's just so it doesn't end up getting flooded with the same thing over and over and that sort of stuff.
Exactly. I have to input the list, so like just to keep things clean. But I will definitely put the updates out still. This will just make it so much easier for me to do so.
Yep. So would that be fair to say if somebody was in the list and they wanted to know where they were at, maybe they could just DM you and you could run it or something like that? Would that work?
Or I could actually just talk to Hire and see if I can kind of like lock certain commands or just not put out certain commands and see where we go from there. I have until Friday or Saturday.
Oh, before the new train gets going, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No pressure. Well, didn't the building challenge got extended or something too, didn't it? I saw a few people blowing up about it. Does anybody know about that? No.
I don't know.
All right. Maybe I misread something. It seemed to be people were freaking out about something.
So I was gone all weekend. I hadn't been on Discord, and so I'm just now seeing that there was this round one. So that's closed now. So if we had Spark on the old train from that old server, we should just do something else with it until this reopens for a round two.
Like Ben said, you could do the old or new. Ben and I have been kind of chipping away a bit at Skip, so he has 2 more days till he's done, so he could kind of like come off the list soon. So we'll have one less person and it'll go faster. That's kind of what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put my Spark on a new list. It's not technically what you have to do at the moment because it's not open, but you could put it there. You could put it on the old one. But yeah, I'm sorry.
Kind of, it's a tricky thing with the numbers. Like we're going to reevaluate the whole thing. So all of the people, if you've nominated a property in round one and and you want to get going, you want to keep it in there, then you'll have first dibs, obviously. But if we get the spark numbers and there's room in there for some extra ones, we'll open it up again and fill it out. We'll just have to wait and see. I could probably actually bring it up.
So is the limit because you want it's to like whatever the limit for the property is, like 20, right? Is that why there's a limit on the rounds?
It's more about not having too much happening and extending it over like more than 30 days build. Let's see here. I'm not sure that makes any sense.
I think information.
Information, yeah.
I think that's good because it allows you to evaluate the process each month or each period that you give it, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, we're not going to be afraid to put the brakes on it, sort of thing. That's a bit small to see, but yeah. And one of the things that we need to reevaluate is the minimum staking amount. Like we have said, it's 0.25, but obviously, if we get 20 people staking 0.25, it's just not going to fly. So at the moment, it's kind of very heavily reliant on some of the bigger Spark holders. And a lot of here, we've got volunteers like myself, Nubek, Spinsky, MoreCheese, Bokya. Bokyo's, he's just volunteering himself. But for the rest of us, we already had properties built in the old train. So we're just volunteering completely until we go through enough rounds to make up for it. So yeah, we've got he'll definitely be finished by the time the train gets going. So Clonics, yeah, and there's a bunch of people that they've said that they can stake additional Spark. So you know, we got a 0.6, a 0.5, a 0.4, 0.2. Yeah, we're just gonna have to rethink it. But it's just about balancing the numbers. It's a kind of a tricky situation. You could get 2 people that come in with 8 Spark and then it's going to completely change the dynamics, or you could get people that are going to drop down and that sort of thing. If that's the case, maybe we have to limit it to smaller rounds. Maybe we go to 10 participants or something like that. I don't think it's going to be good for anybody if it drags on too long, especially, you know, Upland's always going to throw us a curveball with some additional challenge or this, that, and the other thing. So one thing I have been saying too is that's always going to happen. There's always going to be other challenges or things that pop up. So perhaps always keep some Spark in reserve. Obviously, I'm going to put most of mine in because, you know, I got some payback to work through. But yeah, if you're sitting on 6 Spark or something like that, maybe, I don't know, maybe don't put more than 60% into any one thing, whether it's this or some other situation. What's the old saying? Never all in, never all out, that sort of stuff. Other than that,
Wisdom.
Well, it's one of those things that I always say, but I just blew 300,000 UPEX in Chicago chasing some new shiny thing that popped up last night. And yeah, I was saying to myself as I was doing it, they're going to release Cleveland again. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, but there's one more, you know. Chasing that blue dragon.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, we did have some not great news come up through the week about one of our friends and members, Nimoryan. Bokyo, did you want to speak to that?
Yeah. This week, Nimoryan put a message in the chat that he has some health issues. You know, it's also being recorded on YouTube, so I don't want to elaborate on that too much, but I just want to say that there are certain health issues that are, you know, quite seriously. He was also thinking about quitting the Upland game or selling his account. I think he postponed that for now, but when it becomes necessary, he's actually thinking about it. You know, it's just really terrible news. When I look at this situation personally, I think Nimoryan is a great guy, and I think he did so much things for the community. When I DM people and talk about them, everybody says he did a lot of things, and that also should not matter, you know. Even if his contribution was small, it's not, then I think it's still a good thing to support. You know, we are one group, one organization, and one team, and we should back each other up. like with the Spark Train, but also with these kind of things. So what we did, we tried to, well, at first I tried to set up a GoFundMe site. But thanks to Jacula and MoreCheese, they really helped me out. And Jacula recently, asked some questions that were really good. And because of that, I've decided to quit the old link because there were some issues with it. The amount that we want to raise was in euros. And because there are a lot of US dollar, people who pay in US dollars, they have to perhaps pay an additional fee just by donating. So that would be a threshold. So what I did is I removed the old link. Jacula is at this moment trying to create a new link. We are almost there, but we are facing one issue, a small issue, because when you click on donate, it says you are supporting Nimoryan, but the amount will go to, and then the name of Jacula pops up. And we don't want people to see that, because that's not the case, because within the site you can actually add Nimoryan as the beneficiary. And we already had contact with Nimoryan about this. He and his wife has access to that account, so that's all good. But we don't want to see that message pop up.
I've added Ryan and his wife as the people who can withdraw. But just like the beneficiary on the site, the way it's showing up, it doesn't look right. So as soon as that's fixed, it'll be ready. We'll send it out so people can start donating. So
yeah, survey we also explained why we actually choose this specific medium in order to donate the money. There are certain reasons why we choose this. Also there. Until now, I think two other people have already.
You just dropped out there for a second. Can you just repeat that last bit?
Oh, on the server, we already added some arguments why we are choosing for this specific platform. So the GoFundMe site instead of other ones. So you can check that out. Two other persons have already donated euro money, and I messaged the site in order to get that back. And I also DM'd Dubrider because he was one of those. So I will keep them updated, so they won't lose their money or something like that. So that's already being taken care of.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking care of this. It's very awesome of you and Jacula to kind of come together and set this up.
Yeah,
thank
100%.
you.
And you also helped out MoreCheese, so that's good.
Yeah, and Nemo has been involved in a number of transactions with people. Just reach out to him so that he is aware of what needs to be sorted out. I think I recall that he put a post out where he had been collection swapping with people too, and he wasn't exactly sure where some of the stuff was. So yeah, if there's any issues there, just let it be known. As we keep saying, it's blockchain. Everything can be sorted out. Cool heads and a bit of time and patience, we can sort anything out. But yeah, if there's something left outstanding, just let somebody know, and we can do what we can to get it sorted out.
I'd like to say that's really awesome what you guys are doing. I personally have met Nimoryan and had lunch with him a couple of times. He's a real cool guy, really awesome guy. He always offers me really good advice and is just a really cool guy. So I actually didn't know, so I have to check in on him. But thank you all for what you're doing, and it's awesome that we can come together, as a community and as a group and do that for him. So that's awesome, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
in the game, like as far as I am in the game without him. So.
Oh yeah, think about all the work he's done with FSA players. Like, it's just unbelievable. The amount of stuff he's done. Yeah, it's incredible, really. Yeah. So yeah, moving on to other things. It's been great to see all the buildings going up in Midtown Terrace. It's looking really, really good. Like, especially if you look at the wide view on the angled 3D view, it looks amazing. So there's a bunch of buildings there that have been finished but haven't been inaugurated. So once that gets sorted out, it's going to start looking really, really cool. I haven't myself had a look around the map in San Francisco, but I would imagine there's not too many neighborhoods that are looking like that at this stage. So we'll see how we go. As for nodes, we do have a couple of other nodes kicking along, which we have talked about openly. There's still the Almond Park node, which is kind of a semi-node, and there's still plenty of room there. So if you want to have a play there, jump in. If you just go to Chicago and search for Almond Park, it'll put out an address and it'll get you in the general vicinity. The exact coordinates are within the server. Oh, and I should say, if you're somebody who's listening to this in YouTube and think you're going to make a play for flipping against the UDU, that's not what Almond Park's about. It's about getting in and buying and being involved if you want to. It's not a full neighborhood. So if you buy within Almond Park, you're going to be sitting on it. I don't think there's going to be too many people that are interested in buying it out at astronomical prices like in some of the other nodes. So just keep that in mind. The other big play that we had that was kind of on the down low was the S Longwood Drive in Chicago. Steve SJR86, he ran some numbers for us, and it looks like between those of us that got involved, we hold 76% of that massive long street, which will drive, which is really cool. I can show you this too, assuming it shows up. Where am I? Not that one. Sorry. Let me try again. Yes. Back to that dump. Now this is a very cool thing that Steve is working on. You can see that there. So this is Longwood Drive. That's Longwood Drive right there. So all of the aqua color, that's the ones that I own. The darker blue, that's the ones that other UDU owns or UDUA. The black is non-members that own it, and the white is ones that are for sale. These big gaps here, there's actually big gaps within the map. We're not sure if that's might be a park, or Chicago's pretty sparse in some of the areas where they've mapped it out. But as you can see, in the future, if we go ahead and build all the way down along this, it's going to look pretty cool on the map, just to have a big row of specific buildings and that sort of thing. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And this tool that he's working on, I've kind of been his guinea pig for it. And some of the things he's talked about incorporating with it are just awesome. Like previously, if you've seen any of the MTU maps, I was going through that manually one by one on MS Paint, changing colors and that sort of thing, where this output here, it's all code based, which is just, phenomenal.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Just in discussions with him, I'm not even sure like the potential for this. This could probably be used in a whole variety of different ways. So he's kind of exploring that at the moment. So that was pretty cool to see that, and I think that'll look amazing once that street's all built out. So it's going to look pretty cool, especially if there's not much else going on. And speaking to that too, one of our members, Slav, he's got a little something cooking away. So if you're interested in that, reach out. I'm not at liberty to say too much, but just as I was going to bed last night, he was sending me a few DMs, and it looked pretty cool. So if you've got Upex burning a hole in your pocket, reach out to Slav. He'll hook you up with something cool. Alrighty, other than that, not much to talk about. We will wait until the next building challenge is finished. We'll reevaluate the numbers and hopefully get this train up and running. And we've got, oh, sorry. Go MoreCheese.
We have to hear from CryptoJedi.
Yeah, I was getting there. Yep, I was just going to sling it over to CJ to wrap things up for us. How are we doing, CJ?
All right. Thanks, guys. And first off, I want to say my deepest, sincerest apologies for missing the meeting last night with what was supposed to be the reveal. I've decided to postpone the reveal, which I'm very sorry about. But you know, just kind of going through this process, I'm learning a lot, and it's a great learning process. And I just want to make sure everything is pristine and nice and polished whenever I deliver it. So kind of having to postpone that reveal. And then also, which is kind of hard for me to say, but I've decided that I want to, with my business, I kind of want it to be an entity in and of itself, because I want it to really be kind of like a movement and a message. And I want it to be able to be a bridge between everyone and anyone. And I think that would be best achieved as its own entity. So I'm still going to be completely engaged and fully involved with UDU, MTU, and all that. But I have decided that I want to kind of do my own thing with, or allow the business to be its own thing. But which is hard for me to say with everything that, you know, I'm hearing all these great and awesome things. I'm like, wait, you know, maybe I'm, you know, just, but no, I think it is what's best. But there's, you know, so many cool things with this group, and that, you know, I have so much love for everyone here, and still excited to grow and develop everything with you guys. And
it was funny last night when you DM'd me about it. It was like, you know, the vibe was, dude, we're not breaking up, mate. It's all good, you know.
Right. It's just, you know, I mean, it's such a cool, you know, group in the neighborhood, as you were saying. You know, you're going through it and you look at it, and seeing the you know, the two apartment complexes and stuff like that right there in the business area. I mean, it's awesome. It's gonna be awesome, you know, and hopefully my idea is just so badass I can have another building in MTU as well, you know, get another license and do that. But yes, I just wanted to, you know, kind of put that out there, and then also, you know, just my sincerest apologies for missing the last week and not being here in person to tell you. But thank you all. And anything else with anyone wants to add or share? I think that's about it for me.
Well, I had a few sneaky peekies in the Little Italy server and saw a few other things that you're working on as part of your business. Still very excited to see what's to come.
Right. Well, thanks, my man. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, I think, for sure.
Absolutely. And yeah, like as we've always said all along, you know, it's being in the UDU, it's not about you don't have to be all about the UDU. You know, if you want to branch out and do your own thing, which we've seen numerous people do, you know, we're all about that support. And, you know, it's not only support once you're in the UDU. If you want to branch out and do something else, yeah, we're all about that.
Right. And I still want to, you know, definitely want to utilize and collaborate and team up with everyone in UDU and provide opportunities, you know, for everyone. So yeah.
Do you have any idea of where you do want to set up, or are you just keeping it totally open for the time being?
I think there might be one place, but it's not necessarily anything like specific to an area, more just the opportunity that's presented itself type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Do you want to speak to what's been happening in the Better Business channel recently?
I honestly haven't I haven't checked. I need to check it out, huh?
Yeah, have a look.
Okay, yeah.
You'll have a laugh.
All right, yeah. I've been dealing with some personal matters at the same time, so
yeah.
I haven't been really fully engaged in that process either. I need to check it out though.
Yeah, I can. For other people that don't know about that channel, it's a channel within the Upland server that's specifically for Upland to speak with all of the Better Business holders. It has kind of devolved into a very sad GIF-only chat, pretty much. So it's quite a thing to behold.
That's funny. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Hopefully we get some good news about our businesses sometime soon.
Yeah, I'm kind of grateful because I'm realizing, you know, as I'm learning this process as I go about it, and I'm glad that the times kind of seem to be aligning right for me, at least, you know, with me being ready and them being ready. So I think
well, that's true because when the submissions for licenses were released, you were still pro at that time?
I think Uplander. I went straight from Uplander to director with one cell from a Dumbo property to Seneca. But oh yeah, you were part of that too. We saw 2 of them.
Yeah. That's I remember in the chat about businesses and that you're thinking, oh, should I do it? And everyone was just saying, yeah, just go for it. It doesn't matter what status you are. So I guess kind of where myself and some other people, we had our idea kind of fully fleshed out. You kind of just threw a line in the water and got a bite, and now you're kind of catching up to that process. So yeah, for you, that's kind of worked out really well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, I definitely would not have been ready if we stuck to the original roadmap. So it's definitely been a blessing for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's still going to be a lot of fun. So, you know, stay tuned. I don't know how long to stay tuned, but yeah, just stay tuned.
Yeah. So are we still going to get a reveal? Is that still happening? You're still putting that together?
Definitely. The first public reveal is still going to be with UDU. You know, we're going to do that through UDU, and excited about that. Definitely going to have some things regarding UDU involved in the reveal. So it's going to be a good time. Yeah.
Very good. And after that reveal, I'm sure you'll have a bunch of people reach out with ideas and wanting to get involved because, you know, as I've said numerous times, CJ's ideas are clanger, and yeah, there's just endless scope there, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's, I mean, unlimited creativity, I feel like. So room for everyone to get on board.
We better not give too many hints away, otherwise we'll let it slip accidentally.
All right.
Alrighty, thank you everybody. As always, reach out in the server if anything else comes up, and we'll go from there. Enjoy.